So I've been trying to get into third-party Transformers, and my draw into that is the third-party Legends, as they are more affordable than the Masterpiece scale figures. So starting off my third-party venture was this nice little Soundwave, made by DX9. So today we're going to be taking a look at the knockoff of the DX9 Soundwave, the Pocket Toys Turner. Starting off in cassette player mode, Soundwave here looks really nice, and I'm really surprised at how good he turned out for the small size he is. I love the little details he has up the top here. I believe they were the stereo microphones. I think if I'm getting that detail wrong, I am sorry. As I've said before, I'm not that good with cassette players, but they look really nice here. I like the little detailing around the sides that they molded into the feet, like these little holes and stuff. Sure, they're just for the molding of the figure, but it kind of works into how the cassette player looks. I like how the eject button looks. I like the little details on the play and fast forward buttons. I like the lines that are going through the front of this cassette. The only downside to this Soundwave though is the fact he's only really viewable from like 1 or 2 angles. Second, you look at the back of him, it's a mess. But that is par for the core of Soundwaves, so it's just kind of how it looks. And for a cheap Soundwave, I do find it to be alright, I guess. Transformation on this Soundwave here is fun and interesting. It is a bit strange of how the legs work, as they're on this weird panel in order to get the cassette mode to look fine and the robot mode to look fine. I find it's a bit unstable when you're messing with him, but if you've got him in a static pose, it looks fine. I do find it weird that the peg for the shoulder cannon is on his body and not in the shoulder cannon itself. That's one of the few things I find weird about him. But otherwise, it's a nice and interesting transformation. Here we are in robot mode, and Soundwave looks really good. I love how he looks here. He really captures how Soundwave looks at the small size. So starting off, we'll go up to his head, and that head, it looks just like Soundwave minus the faceplate. The faceplate seems a bit too smooth, if that's a good way to describe it. It just feels a bit too rounded, and Soundwave's faceplate isn't normally rounded. That gives him a weird look to his visor. But otherwise, it looks really good. I like that they actually carried the side of the head going all the way down the back, as that's a feature a lot of Soundwaves don't do. But in the show, his side vents did go all the way back. That is to my memory though. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. You can tell me in the comments. But it looks really good. And moving down to the body looks amazing. It looks just like Soundwave's body. All the way down to how they shape the chest going into the waist. The door looks really good. It is on a clear plastic hinge, and it is a bit tight on my copy to open up. But you can store a couple cassettes in there. It's really nice. We'll get into them later. I like how the hip skirt looks. It allows him to have range on his legs. But I don't know if it's just my copy or I'm looking at it weird. But the hip skirt is slightly, like, askew. It's not quite straight. And that has been annoying me. And I don't know if there's an easy way to fix it, because I don't want to accidentally break him. But it looks fine, I guess, if I can look away from it. Back of Soundwave is really clean, and I'm surprised about that, because a lot of Soundwaves don't really have a clean back, which is strange, because he turns into a cube. But I'm really like how clean his back looks. And his arms even look good. They've got the distinct Soundwave shapes and details without getting rid of details or overcomplicating it. Like, they even sculpted in a pointing finger. So he can press his eject button or his buttons on his hip skirt. But his arm can't really reach over that far, so yeah. And finally, moving down to his legs, they look good. They are on a bit of the long side, but that is due to how they're made to transform. I think they look fine. There's not really much I can really say that I hate about it. Just maybe need a little more detail on the knees themselves, as they do look a bit bland. But otherwise, he looks really good altogether. And he really captures the Soundwave look. Posability on the Soundwave is really good. So starting off, he has a ball joint at the head, allowing for really far up, a little bit down, and swivel. His shoulder cannon is on a swivel. The arms go all the way around on ball joints, so they have a little wiggle room as well. They do have a backwards butterfly on the transformation joint. There's elbow bend, elbow swivel, and wrist swivel, as well as hinge down for like sword holding wrists. There's waist swivel. Legs are unimpeded going forward and out to the side, but they can't really move back due to the panels. There's thigh swivel. Knees have a really deep bend due to being on a transformation joint. And the feet are on ball joint, allowing for up, down, and swivel, as well as pivot. Accessory-wise, Soundwave does get a few accessories. Starting off, you get his shoulder cannon, which of course just plugs into his shoulder. Next, you get his battery gun with a detachable end, because you need to take it off for transformation. Because the guns are holding him in place when he's transformed, it looks really nice. It's really accurate to how the gun looked in the show and his toys. So I like how it looks. And finally, you get 3 little cassettes. A black one, a red one, and a pink and gold one. They all look really good. Of course, the black one is Ravage, the red one's Laserbeak, and the purple and black one is, of course, Ratbat. Which, having Ratbat in this does feel a bit strange, as I would have thought they would have done Rumble or Frenzy. But seeing that they just used the Laserbeak body for Ratbat is fine. They each have really good transformations. Ratbat's is just Laserbeaks with a further pointed head. But Ravage has a really unique transformation where you unfold him and then pull out his legs. I really like how they transform, and they look really good in their animal forms. But hey, Soundwave looks really good in robot mode, so I just had to get him some poses, so here they are. This has been the review of the 4th party knockoff of the DX9 Soundwave, the Pocket Toys Turner. So tell me, what do you think of this figure? Do you have the original? Do you have the knockoff? Or are you looking around for them? Personally, I'm happy that I got him. I did get him secondhand off of eBay, as I couldn't find a good way to get him anywhere. But I am really happy that I got him. Now, the Decepticon insignia on him, I put on. It didn't come with him. But I'm sure he looks fine without it. I just like him with the con symbol. But tell me, what do you think? Thanks for watching.